folks, thanks for joining me today. In this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to harvest fresh oregano and how to make dry oregano at home in a very creative and fun sort of way. So let's dive in, let's grab a basket, let's get out to my beautiful little kitchen garden. Love it out there this time of year. And we will harvest a whole bunch of oregano. So let's head outdoors and let's get our fresh oregano for drying. I've got my favorite basket and I'm gonna head out to my beautiful little kitchen garden. This is the multiplier onion that's gone to flower. I have little lilies, or rather big lilies, about ready to bud out. The lavender is coming out. This garden is so full of potential and promise. My tarragon made it through the winter, which delighted me. I have some English thyme that's flowering out. This is an Egyptian walking onion. I can't help but stop and look at what's around me every time I go out into this garden. It's just so beautiful this time of year. But right next to this foxglove, I actually have a giant patch of oregano. Where I live, oregano is a perennial and it goes crazy. So I am not afraid to vigorously cut it back. And here you can see it's actually starting to put out little buds. So it's about ready to blossom. And I especially like to harvest my oregano for drying before that happens. So I am going to use my kitchen scissors and just start cutting it back. Oregano is wonderful because you can cut it back and those stems will put up new life. So in about a month, they will develop new sprouts, new side shoots. It's very difficult, at least for me, to kill oregano. So I have no qualms about just chopping it back. There's lots of it in this garden. So I'm going to cut until my little basket is full. Way out, I have to stop and admire the very last of the bellflowers that the spring rains flattened. These are almost ready to be trimmed away and cut back. We have one beautiful little survivor still. Once we're inside, we're going to take some cotton cooking twine and cut it to about 8 to 10 inch lengths. For drying oregano, I like to do some fun and creative things with it. So I'm going to create what some people would call a garland, or I like to call it a herb swag. So we're going to gather up a handful of oregano and tightly tie the top with a piece of cotton cooking twine. Now you want to make sure you tie this very, very tight. Don't worry about squishing leaves or stems. When this dries, everything is going to shrink and you need to make sure it's very, very tight, particularly on the top, because we are going to be adding to this bundle. Gather another handful of oregano and lift the top part of your bundle, and we're going to tie the new bundle underneath to the underlying about 5 stalks of oregano. We're going to create an ongoing sort of swag with the oregano, repeating that pattern. We lift the top layers, tie the new bundle onto the under layers, and we're going to create a long, beautiful herb swag, or some people might call it a herb garland. Now, of course, this is going to wilt and dry up. It's not going to be as beautiful as it is now, but it still brings a certain special vibe to your kitchen. So we are going to take this beautiful creation we've made, and we are going to tie off the top very tightly with a longer piece of cooking twine, wrap it around numerous times, and knot it very tightly on the back side. Make sure, once again, you're tying this very tight because things are going to shrink as they dry. You don't want your beautiful garland to fall apart. We form a second little knot about 1 inch away to create a little loop for hanging this herb swag. And I'm going to hang it right by my aprons at the end of my little wooden hutch. It looks beautiful and full. This will only last for about a day and then everything will shrink. But I think it's a very special way to dry your herbs. Now I also have another one up my sleeve, and this one is to make an oregano wreath using your herbs. The idea and the principle is very similar to the garland we made, only this time you choose your starting point and then you are going to tie bunches of oregano to the wreath itself, each one with its tips overlapping the previous bundle by quite a bit. And actually, if you want to know how to make your own wreath frame, make it all natural, I will leave a link down below for the tutorial on how to do that. I'll teach you how to make it with herbs that won't wilt, some varieties like lavender and thyme and sage, but this is a really fun way to be able to enjoy your herbs as they dry in this situation. So you can see I'm running that cotton string through the wreath frame, and then I'm just tightly tying down the fresh oregano. Once again, this is going to wilt very quickly. If you put a lot on there though, it can be pretty, and actually if you want it to dry in a certain position, you're probably going to want to hang it upside down. So flip your whole wreath over so that the greens hang down when they wilt, and they will dry in that position. But for now, we're just going to enjoy this one fresh. I'm going to actually put it on my table with a little candle in the middle, and we will enjoy this over supper tonight.